Here I have a bubble machine. Real quick before we get started, if you want to stay up to date with my videos, hit the subscribe button down below. Also, for more information about this adaptation as well as some others, check out my website at playenabled.com. So this toy actually has two ways of adapting it. The first one, which this video focuses on, is a battery interrupter. And the second is hardwiring the toy. Personally, I don't see a huge benefit in hardwiring it. Battery interrupters are just so convenient and easy. There is an issue with it, and it's similar to ones I've discussed in other videos. So why do I like this specific machine? Well, first of all, its price was between $12 and $14, and there's two colors available. Also, because there is already a hole in it. I literally didn't have to do any drilling. The hole fit the jack perfectly. So that was really nice and cut down one of the steps I had to do. What you're going to need to adapt it is your jack, the toy, a battery interrupter, which I like the one again that screws into the side because that is super convenient with plastic toys, a screwdriver, and tin snips. You could also use a file. And the reason you need the tin snips and the files to cut out a notch for the battery interrupter to come out of. I turned it on, the toy works. Because remember, the first step is always test the toy. It works, so I can start adapting it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my battery interrupter that I made previously, and I'm going to figure out where I want to put it. It doesn't really matter so much. Again, because this is a thicker copper plate, I like to put it on the side with the spring, but there are thinner copper plates out there that you can get. So I'm going to put it in there and kind of figure out where I want to place it. So again, it can be harder with a thicker copper plate to get the battery in. I'm going to put the jack through that already done hole. It might take a little bit of force, but it fit pretty easily. So then I'm going to see, okay, it doesn't really fit, is making the lid stick out. So I'm going to, again, remove the battery. I'm not pulling on the battery interrupter. I am using my screwdriver. I'm going to take my tin snips and cut this down just a little bit because, again, I'm making this one to stay in this toy. So I want to make sure it fits in there nicely. All right, and then put it back in. Once I have the copper plate in place, I'm going to take the lid of the battery compartment and see if it fits there nicely, and it does. It's no longer bowing like before, so it's cut down to a good size. Before I close everything up, I want to test the toy. So I hit the switch and nothing happened, which is good if I turned the toy off. So that's what I want. Right now I'm hitting it and nothing is happening, which means after I used it last time, I turned it off. Now if I hit the button up top and turn the toy on, the switch that's plugged into my battery interrupter should turn the toy on, and there it goes. So one of the issues is when you plug your switch in, if the toy's off, you might think that it's broken, when in actuality, the toy is just turned off. The other issue is when you're done using it, if you just unplug it and don't turn the toy off, you're gonna drain the battery. So you need to make sure that you turn the toy off and not just unplug your switch. Now I am going to find and screw in the metal piece. As I'm screwing it in, I'm going to do the best I can with my hands, but it's not going to get tight enough. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my wire strippers and kind of try to get a good grip on it and twist it. Theoretically, the tips of the wire strippers will work as a plier and you can use it to tighten that. So now your toy's ready to go. That was it. I have seen people adapt other ones. I just find this one so easy, especially if you're new at this and you don't have a drill and you don't want to drill it. Again, the only issue is you need to remember that to turn on and off the toy, otherwise your switch won't work. And if you don't turn it off, the battery will be drained way quicker. So I lent this toy out to another teacher and I just got it back. How do I know if they turned it off? What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my switch and I'm going to plug it into the bubble machine. And if it turns on when I hit the switch, it means they left the toy on. The toy was left on. So now what I'm going to do is I am going to hit the top button and try out the switch again. Doesn't work, that means I turned it off, and now I'm going to put the toy away. If you like what you saw and want information on how to adapt other things, check out my website at playenabled.com.